This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Was it hotter today than yesterday?
A little bit, not by much, but a little bit. It's so humid. And practice itself is tolerable. It's when we have to do the player interviews out in that beating sun. That's rough.
So let me ask Sean, because Sean grabbed the mic there. So yesterday you were at camp. You did your share sweating.
A lot.
Okay, so you were with me also in Vegas, where it was 107, 109, 113, and it was dry heat.
Yes.
And you remember that hallway in between the two arenas, how it became an oven.
Yes.
Okay, so now what kind of heat would you rather deal with? Our humidified, sweaty heat, or that dry ass, you can barely breathe heat?
The dry ass heat.
Right?
I literally, Alan pulled up
right?
the same time as me. As I got out of the car, before I made it to the cart that was taking us, I was already sweating.
Right.
I was already sweating by that point.
Because that heat out west, it's bad, but it's the humidity factor here is what just God bless.
And I'll add, because I've been into Vegas also, and I'll add to that. When I went to Mexico a few weeks ago, it was very humid too. It was brutal. Went to OTAs in New Orleans once upon a time. It was horrible. And then this also the same thing. This humidity that kills you.
Yeah. And the frustration, you just showered.
Yeah.
So you're like, damn, man, I just showered, bro. Come on.
Yep.
Do I have to get swamp ass within the first 5 minutes of me walking out of the house? Damn, bro. All right. So today, who was limited or out?
4 guys we did not see out there were Teron Armstead, Raheem Mostert, Michael Dieter, and for a second consecutive day, Adam Butler.
What's the Butler deal? Because he's been absent. The other ones I don't really worry about except for Dieter, I don't know what they're managing there. The other guys are a little older, so you want to manage those guys. And, they practiced limited yesterday, so I know what you're doing. You're wanting to wait to see how their bodies react, and then you start slowly but surely picking it up. I know what they're doing with those guys. I'm not
correct.
But Butler, who, by the way, he got better as the year went on last year, because I wasn't very impressed with him early on, and then towards the end of the season, he was making plays. He was helping out. So what's the deal with him?
Don't know. We forgot to ask Mike McDaniel before practice Thursday. He's not scheduled to speak before practice tomorrow, so we'll have to wait until Saturday. And who knows, by then he may be back at practice tomorrow. So we'll find out. So I don't want to speculate. I don't know what's going on. But as far as Mostert and Armstead, your suggestion that it could be load management makes a whole lot of sense. That would be my guess also.
I mean, dude, Armstead looked good yesterday. It wasn't, you know what I mean? Most looked good yesterday. But I get what they're doing, because you've been around it and so have I. The smart teams kind of ease you back. They don't give you heavy loads right away. And especially a guy like Armstead does not need a heavy load. And a guy like Mostert actually knows your system too, on top of all of that. Not only does you got to pace him because he's coming back from an injury, but he knows your system anyway. So you don't have to worry about that.
There'll come a time when it's time to ramp it up.
Right.
July 28th isn't that time. So it makes
I'm not going to ask you about lines. I'm not going to ask you about running games, because there's no pads going on. But what did you see in the passing game from quarterbacks, the receivers and cornerbacks and tight ends that you did like?
I will tell you one thing. I'm as soon as I'm done with you, I'm going to write up like practice observations, and I don't want to give away too much of what I'm writing, but I will tell you one thing that's jumped out at me in the first 2 days. I've seen 2 instances where the 4th round pick, Eric Ezukanma, has shown great body control, where he's twisting his body in the air to make the catch. Now, the one today, he was about to make an incredible catch until Javon Holland came over from his safety spot and knocked the ball out of his hands. But still, the effort and just the fact that he got as close to making the catch as he did was really impressive.
And I felt that they're going to use him on the fade, and they're going to use him on those end arounds and stuff like that Debo would do. I think that's why he's here, because you're not going to put Parker to do that. but he can do some of the things Parker can do, and he's going to do some of the things you can't get Parker to do with that big body. And I think that's what Azukam, like I've told everybody when we had these Dolphin fans are, oh, go get Debo, go get Debo. No, dude, they already have Debo. It's just 7 dudes that are going to play Debo, is what I keep telling everybody. Everyone will play the Debo role. The Debo Samuel role will be in this offense. It just won't be by one dude. That's all.
Well, Debo doesn't want to be Debo anymore. Anyway, so there's that. So, no, but you mentioned Parker, and then, yeah, I would call Azukama's ability to adjust his body in the air very Parker-like. And speaking of whom, I don't know if you're seeing the reports out of New England. Apparently, he's killing it over there. So
Yeah, but apparently their DBs are wearing mitts. So it's also a cooking class and practice. So, it's just they go to the sidelines, they go to their Betty Crocker cooker, and they turn over stuff, and then they go back out. So, the DBs are wearing mitts. I don't know.
You're a DVP hater.
Yeah. Yes, I am. Wearing mitts. All right, so outside of Azukama, which is a nice note to know because that's a youngin', I'm not impressed if Watto and Tyreek are kicking ass because they're supposed to kick ass. I like to hear about Azukama.
Correct.
That's good. That's good. What else? What else did you say?
No, I'll give you names. Like I said, I don't want to spill everything I'm going to write, but I'll give you a couple of names.
Spill the beans. Let's
go. Trill Williams having himself a majorly impressive early start of camp. He's the guy who stand out. Waddle had another huge. They actually wore the orange jersey after being the practice player of the day yesterday. And my feeling is coaches are not going to give it to the same guy 2 days in a row. But if they did, nobody would complain because he was a standout again at practice. I will tell you coming later as a tease on the QBs.
Noah today?
Sorry?
Anything from Noah today?
Nothing really stood out one way or the other, but
okay, good. That's good.
Overall, I'm really liking what I'm seeing from him.
Okay. By the way, that's really good news. If Noah and Trill can actually develop the depth you have, oh my God, that would be phenomenal, dude. So there's a lot of positives. It's not so much that you want to justify the first round pick or this kid that they have unearthed now. This is his second year on the team, right? If I'm correct.
Trill Williams, yeah.
Yeah, so this is a young man that they found also off the scrap heap that they're trying to develop. And that'll be cool if they can develop him into another Nick Needham-like. But more importantly, man, you're seeing what's going on with Byron Jones now. He's recovering from a little surgery. Mm-hmm. You need to have somebody to step in, and that would be fantastic if you got a couple guys you can count on.
No question. And again, it's early in camp, but they have looked the part so far. And, with every play they make, you feel a little bit less nervous if somehow Byron's situation lingered.
Yeah, can't wait for those practices. That's going to be fantastic when I hear from you guys against the Bucks and who's the other one?
Eagles.
I can't wait to hear those reports because I think those are the things that are going to really help these players out in their development. Looking forward to it.
And you'll see a lot more O-line, D-line stuff when they're practicing against another team as opposed to going against each other, Jalen Phillips, again, looked like a complete stud coming off the edge. So those were a couple of the highlights. I don't want to spoil everything, but
Tua, you got to give us a little Tua love or hate, whatever it is that you've got for him today. What was it? How did he perform today?
Well, here's the thing: the way they structured the practice early on, when they first did the first period of team drills, it was run heavy where Tua threw only one pass. Then they did a drill where it was just the receivers, no offensive line, and 9 people in coverage, which is conducive to having completions or not. The ball doesn't get on the ground very often there. And then in that period, he was very impressive. And then at the end, he did more 11 on 11 and was not good.
Okay. Why?
But I'm seeing some of my colleagues saying he had a solid day. Well,
okay, so you didn't see a solid day from him. Okay, what mistakes?
I would tell you he was. So you were there, so you can maybe get an idea of my grading scale. I would say yesterday he was a BB minus.
Yeah, he was sharp yesterday.
Sorry,
he was sharp yesterday. He threw a nice.
Is BB minus fair? Would you agree with that, or would you go higher than that?
Yeah, there's no rush. Yeah, I would go B-. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And today, to me, would be the grade would be lower.
Okay. All right.
He had 2 balls that should have been picked. Let's put it that way also.
Okay. Well, those are the ones you read that were against the wind. Is that true? Was it Bob Seger like?
I was down on the field, and if there was a win, I really wish it had stayed there for the player interviews, because I didn't feel a win. I don't know what the hell those guys are talking
That was
about.
awesome.
I really don't. I mean, sorry.
Lately, there hasn't been wind, actually.
I know. I mean,
now that you're saying that, now that I'm thinking about that, I'm going, yeah, there really wasn't. There, like yesterday, I wish we had breezes, because there wasn't a breeze. Forget wind, there wasn't a breeze. I mean,
correct.
So,
I mean,
okay, so yeah, that doesn't fly, that against the wind stuff. Yeah.
No, I'm not buying it, but it's out there by some other reporters who are professional journalists who were out there in the stands with me, who said the 2 near picks came against the wind.
Okay. All right. I got it. Okay.
Maybe I'm going senile, but I don't see no win there.
Okay. All right. No, I got to say you're right on that, because unless something's changed, when I was walking in, it didn't look too windy out there. And I was there yesterday, and it hasn't been kind of windy. It's been really hot and humid is what it's been.
But let me guess. Big O.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody will come up with, it was a hurricane out there, and I'm just a Tua hater. So.
Okay. All right.
Let's be honest.
Okay. All right. I like it. All right. What else you working on at alldolphins.com so folks can check you out, my friends?
Too much. I wound up having not 87. I had like 7 stories on the site yesterday. There's going to be a lot. I had already had this morning the Mike McDaniel press conference highlight. As the second I get here, I'm heading straight to my laptop to do the practice observations as promised, and we'll have something later on. Melvin Ingram, Tyreek Hill, and or Jalen Waddle. And what else?
You mean one thing that stood out to you from the McDaniel press conference?
Melvin Ingram the plan yesterday for him was to just chill, not do team drills, and he basically told the coaches, "Get my ass in there," and they go, "Okay, do team drills," which I really liked, actually.
Well, he's part of a new system. I think it makes all the sense in the world that you want to take your reps so you can.
Dude, the first day of camp, he's been in the league 13 years, or 10 years. It's the first day of camp. Do you really need to see him in team drills? Let's be honest.
I don't need to see him in. I don't need to see his credentials. I don't need to see him as a football player. But I think personally for him, because he's part of a new team, I think he should be part of drills, because I think he should get the timing and playing with his players and his teammates and kind of getting to know everything. So I do think for him personally, if you're a pro, you want to get in there and want to be as prepared as possible. I think anybody, you do it every day of your life, dude. I see you when you write your articles, as you're covering it, you want to be as prepared as possible. I think he's just being a pro. I don't mind with that. I don't mind. If he was
I don't mind it. I love it. I just don't think
if he was here for 3 years, I'd kind of fight him if I'm the coach. I'd say, Mel, we love you, brother, but you've been here. We need to take care of you. Pace yourself. But in this case, he hasn't played with these guys. I think it's important for him to get some reps.
Dude, don't get me wrong. I never said first. I don't mind it in the least. I love it, actually. But you and I both know that a lot of guys in the same situation, had they been told by the coach, we're going to keep you out of team drills, they'd have been like, okay, no problem.
I'm out. Yeah, you're right.
No, right. I love the fact that he said, no, let me get my ass in there.
Yeah. No, I love it too. I think it's important for him to get it done. All right. Follow him on Twitter at Poupart NFL. And if you're a Dolphins fan anywhere in the world and you haven't bookmarked alldolphins.com, then shame on you. Shame on you. Get on the bandwagon, alldolphins.com, and follow him on Twitter at Poupart NFL. Alain, as always, thank you, my friend. I appreciate you.
Have a good weekend, partner.
Thank you. There you go. It is the Sports Grill Miami Dolphins report.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.